This guy right here. Hey everyone, John Danes Digital here. Hope you're doing super well. I have an awesome interview. This is 40 minutes of slam-packed value with an awesome 8-figure entrepreneur, fitness expert, internet marketer, Mr. Gregory O'Gallagher, okay? I don't think there's any interview on the internet with Greg that is like this. We talk serious business. Greg doesn't do a lot of interviews. The last one he did was with Jordan Belfort, the Wolf of Wall Street. So I'm actually in pretty good company here, guys. I asked Greg about scaling online business, paid ads, where he gets these ideas, and basically how he's built an 8-figure internet marketing business from scratch. So this is an awesome jam-packed interview. Make sure to leave me a like on this video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future content like this, and comment down below some other videos you want me to see. I make videos, if you're new here, about sales, SMMA, software, all kinds of cool stuff, and I am actually running my own agency that helps real estate professionals get clients. So if you know a real estate agent, broker, investor, or mortgage loan officer, send them to leadjolt.com or introduce me to them on Instagram. I want to help them grow their business. Enjoy the interview. We'll talk soon. What's going on, everyone? John Danes coming at you here with somebody who I've literally been trying to get an interview with for probably a year and a half now, and I'm super excited that we locked it down. This is Mr. Greg O'Gallagher. Greg, how you doing, man?
Dude, I'm doing great. Just finished a nice workout, and I'm pumped to, get on this call with you. My schedule's a little crazy, so it's always great when I can actually, jump in and find the time.
Yeah, 100%. So guys, this is probably going to be a little bit different style of interview than Greg is normally used to doing. We're going to talk more business stuff because this dude is a fucking marketing and sales genius, whether you guys realize it or not. So we're going to jump into it. I'm super excited. So Greg, the question I want to kick it off with, because this is like one of the big topics in entrepreneurship, how much do you see a correlation, whether it's just with you personally or whether it's with clients, between fitness and business?
Yeah, that's a good question. It depends. It depends. There's obviously going to be, outliers and such, but generally speaking, at least for me, training and fitness set that foundation for me to excel in other areas. When I was young, I wasn't born with like natural confidence. I had goals and I was like driven, but sometimes I the confidence wasn't there naturally in life. And working out, setting goals, building my physique, whether it's, I finally hit 5 chin-ups, and like that excitement you get from hitting those goals. It teaches you a very powerful belief system. It teaches you that if you set goals, if you work hard at something, if you push through, you get the result. Yeah. You get the reward. And funny enough, like not everyone has that belief system built in. I had it because I started working out at 12, 13, and my whole workout, all my workouts were like, I want to be able to get to 10 chin-ups. I want to be able to do, I want to be able to lift 20-pound dumbbells. I want to, go and do a muscle up. And I want to go break, do a 5-minute mile, whatever it was. It was always so goal focused that, building that consistency and building those small wins, I was like, well, let's take this into the business world. Yeah. And so that's what I think is, one aspect that is very helpful for people that want to excel in business. And obviously, there's another aspect to working out where it keeps you, it helps with your energy, with your hormonal system. It keeps you at, top physical condition. And when you're in top physical condition, you are more effective in communication. You are more effective at applying yourself day to day through the tasks that you have. So it is an asset, but I'll be honest. There are successful business people that are out of shape. There are successful business people that don't necessarily have that resume, but I'd say across the board, there is across the board, successful people tend to maintain that healthy routine.
100%. Yeah, it's super important. So Greg, like I want to dive into this a little bit and just kind of share what you're comfortable with sharing.
Of course, sorry, just to say one more really quickly. To say one more note, like the biggest opportunity cost with fitness is like as you get into your 40s and 50s, and you didn't take care of your body in your 20s and 30s, you're not taking care of your body in your 40s, your 50s, well, you're not going to be effective at business if your health falls apart. If your health falls apart, you're not even going to care about making millions of dollars if your health isn't there. So it's like, man, like, yeah, maybe you can get away with it in your 20s, early 30s, but if you don't build those habits in your 40s and 50s, you know, God forbid something happens, you have some health complication. You never think it's going to be you, but you never know.
Yeah.
You're not going to be at your best. So
100%.
yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's a great point because like you can get away with it when you're like 20, 30, you're just running off crazy amounts of energy. And when it get a little older, it starts to bite you back in the ass. So like, you know, I want to talk about this because I can assume that whether people, you know, follow you on Instagram or whether they interact with you organically on social, they've definitely seen your paid ads. And dude, you have some of the best paid, like the most thought and you know, you got to think this is like from the internet marketing world where like on the entrepreneurship side where somebody just films something and they throw it up. You have the most like thought out, cinematic, beautifully shot paid ads that I've ever seen. So like, first of all, I want to know if you're comfortable sharing, or you can just give us a ballpark to date. What do you think you've spent on paid ads?
Yeah, you know, we started paid ads in 2016. So we've run it for just over 4 years. And, you know, we were averaging like 100 to 200K a month in paid traffic. So about 5 mil plus in you know, paid over $5 million in paid traffic.
Yeah.
So quite a bit. And now, you know, now we're getting really like, I'm getting really dialed in on the paid traffic more so right now. So we're looking at, you know, taking things up to, you know, 300K a month in paid traffic.
Yeah. So just curious, because I'm an agency owner, obviously, and run 2 agencies now. So like, are you working with agencies, or were you figuring this stuff out by yourself when you were getting started, or what was kind of the, you know, I assume some of the creatives and videos and things were mostly inspired by you, just because it seems like kind of watching your stuff and engaging, it seems like they're your spins on the videos. But in terms of actually running that stuff, were you doing it in the beginning, or?
Yeah, well, so I know I haven't been running, I haven't been running the ads per se, but I've been coming up with a lot of the creative concepts. Yeah. And those more cinematic style videos, those aren't like, you know, I'm not working with some ad specialist. It's like, hey, I want you to go and get this drone shot and have a voiceover and walk around in your underwear. No, it's that's me. Like that's, you know, there's an element that I believe in, and it's, you can have the perfect script in the world and you can have this, you know, hit all these points that you feel you need to really create that sell and to market effectively. But ultimately what I believe is that you have to do what excites you. Yeah. And you have to be ahead of the curve a little bit. And you can't just be too mechanical if you're doing what everyone else is doing, to a certain extent, you're going to get the same results as them. And so I like to kind of push the boundaries a little bit and have fun with it. I mean, business, like have fun with it, man. Like, you know, be creative, take risks, like stretch your limits. So there is an element of me just doing, you know, textbook, you know, let's do this ad. I'm going to talk about, you know, why people are struggling with, what's the solution, X, Y, and Z. But, you know, this time let me create something creative. And those creative ads, funny enough, like, you know, they end up working really well.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So, Greg, do you know what, just off the top of your head, what's your follower, like ballpark range of followers on Instagram?
Yeah, it's like over 600,000, 660,000.
So like, you know, before we talked, you said you served over 300,000 customers. You've had over, like, that's insane metrics. So how do you, and dude, like, you know, just like your organic social, it performs like incredibly well. So, you know, what would you say is like some good things to create? Not, you know, you're killing it on the paid ad side, but like creating a community and the culture around like not only your clients getting good results, but the reach that you have with people and like, you know, kind of the stardom that you've built on Instagram and that brand.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, you know, it's easy to get caught up in like trying to get to XYZ, trying to get 100,000 or million followers. It's the wrong thing to think about. What you want to think about is really serving the audience that you do have and being helpful, to the people that are in your audience, listening to them. What do they need? What are their struggles? What's the content that they're looking for? How can you be a leader for them? And the more you focus on that, the better. The more you are, the key is to be like unique and useful. Give people content that no one else is giving that's useful. Give them a solution. So I found like the best results come from when you really just focus on helping your target customer. So I just, that's kind of what I focus on. And in that world, you need a system. You need something. You need a system. So if people are like, "Hey, oh yeah, I'm working with this guy named Brian. He's doing. They should be able to tell. They should be able to explain like what this guy's business, what this guy's philosophy is all about." With my clients, we're doing fasting. That's part of the system. We're fasting every day. We're eating steak and potatoes and chocolate at night while hitting the deficit. We're working on these exercises, and so you kind of create this common language and term. I call my community the Kino Warriors, the fucking Kino Warriors. And you create this common, terminology that people connect to. And people are looking for that camaraderie. They're looking for like something to believe in. Yeah. And, they're looking for someone to freaking take the lead and be like, hey, I'm going to solve your problems right now. Yeah. We're going to get you chiseled. When you're chiseled, things are going to get really fun. We're going to get you to, so I think it's, I think that's a big element of it. People want something simple to follow that's going to they want that answer, and then, really just serving those people. And that's when the audience will grow. Yeah. The more you focus on helping your target market, the more people will start to flow to you.
100%. So how did you, we talked a little bit before we started recording, but how did you kind of dive into all this stuff? Because it's obviously been insane, your growth. Basically just blown up in the last 4 years. So how did you kind of get into this? What kind of propelled you? And I want to ask, did you ever see it getting to this level? When you were first starting out, did you even see this being, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs, I didn't even see this being my full-time job. I just kind of always thought it'd be a side thing. So I'm curious to kind of hear some of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, I got into it because literally fitness was my passion since I was a little kid. I had this mega drawing to it, to even watching movies with guys that were jacked. I was like, fuck, I want to be like that, doing push-ups at a young age. I just always wanted to I just was fascinated by that concept that you can work out, train, and get stronger, look better, etc. I thought that was so cool. And so fitness was my passion. And, when I was 16, I was like, oh, let's get into some personal training. Let's work at a gym. And, I also had a very strong, pull towards a couple of things. Well, business was naturally a strength of mine, something that I was interested in heavily. And then also, ultimately, fucking helping people. I was like, damn, I'm loving this workout thing. It's done so much for me. I want more people to be doing this. I don't want to just keep this to myself. I want to share it. I want to get more people, And ultimately, it was really about taking what I love and what I've learned to achieve my goals and sharing that, and doing so in a way where I could build the business of my dreams and build the community of my dreams. That's ultimately what it came down to. To answer your other question there, I didn't really, as far my first goal was I was 18, 19 years old. I went to university for a year. It just didn't feel right. Didn't excite me. Didn't feel like I was on the path to my dreams. I dropped out. Kind of was I was trying to figure things out. I was like, I know I like fitness, but I'm I just don't know if I want to be training clients in a gym all day. It doesn't feel like I'm waking up to achieve my dreams. And I kind of stumbled upon let's check out this going online, and I can reach people that way. And so I kind of just started being I just want to do what I love. I want to help people with fitness. I want to wake up every day and feel fulfilled that I'm helping people. And if I can make $100,000 a year doing this, fuck yeah. If I can, by the time my friends graduate university and not me being a college dropout, if I'm already making 6 figures, getting people fucking chiseled and doing what I love from anywhere in the world, then that was my fucking big, that was my goal at the time. Yeah. And when I was 22, boom, I was making over $100,000. I can't even say per year because the growth rate was so fast that it was just, it was going crazy. I was 22, and I think I made it was 21, 22 was $80K, and then $200K. And this was almost pure profit. I wasn't even running any paid traffic. And then the next from $200K was when I was like, at 24, I did like a mil. So I went from 200K to a mil, and I didn't even spend $1 on paid traffic. That was YouTube mostly. That was YouTube and my fitness blog. I do a lot of blogging on celebrity workouts. How do you get a physique like Ryan Gosling and Crazy Stupid Love, etc. And I do YouTube videos talking about my fasting, talking about my training philosophy, building Hollywood, and and I just tell people, hey guys, go check out my I made this quiz to find out what your body type is. So you can either do the Warrior, Aggressive, Greek God program. Go check it out. And the thing was like, fucking people are buying my programs like left and right, crazy.
Yeah. So it was all inbound. Did you ever at any point do any kind of outbound, like, hey, I'm Greg and I want to show you how to get ripped by my program? Or was it all the blogs and the YouTube videos and people were just coming in organically?
Yeah, it was organic, 100%. I wasn't doing any sort of paid traffic, paid advertising. But the organic thing, like, it took me time. It took time. Like, it took like the first 2 years was really slow. And then the third year, I was like, okay, I'm making a full-time income.
Yeah.
And then the fourth year got fun. And then the fifth year got crazy. And then the sixth year, we got kind of more intense into the paid traffic and everything. Like, so it was all organic in the beginning, which is good. It's a really good way to start for me, because I was like, I was 20, I started this at 19. So to get into like putting all this, to get into investing money at 19 years old, there was like, without a proof of concept, without really, like, if you can build yourself organically and carve out a strong audience and generate $1 million a year organically, fucking, you're a superstar. Like, not to pat myself on the back, but like, you're like, if you can carve that out organically, that's like a huge asset, because now when you go to the paid traffic model and, you got the right setup, it's like, well, shit, it worked organically. But I mean, I think it was good I had that background in going organic, because like, I like to build a business lean. I wouldn't want to, be spending thousands and thousands of dollars without seeing that return.
Of course. Yeah. And you get good with organic, then you can just scale the paid traffic. You've got your proof of concept and everything like that.
Yeah. But I mean, now if I had to start from scratch, I wouldn't worry about organic. I'd go fucking paid traffic.
Go straight into paid traffic.
But I know how to do it. I know, like, I've kind of, Yeah,
100%. So like, if you look at Greg, if you just look at Greg as a person, like, with all the business growth, fitness growth, all this kind of stuff that you've done, like, what has and I know that you're super into the mindset stuff, even in the programs, you talk about the mindset stuff, you talk about reading and all that stuff. And I think that's really cool that you actually, because like a lot of people put that then in the background, even though that's such a key ingredient. So like, what changes have you had to make over this time of making more money and becoming a better person and serving more people? Like, what changes have you made as an actual human that you can say like, oh, when I started doing this, this is when things started to pick up, or this is what I had to do to, get myself on this next level?
Like, human changes, I don't know, man. Like, this isn't something I have to like, get myself like all worked up and ready to go and like, I just gravitate towards this. I do the opposite. I have to get myself off work. I naturally get so focused on getting to the next level, this. I have to like stop. I have to get myself to slow down. Yeah. So like, there hasn't really been personally like some personal changes I've needed to make to go and get to the next level.
Just time.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that like, when for a few years I had, I kind of let, my business be controlled by other people, and I was kind of in the background, and that definitely wasn't ideal for me. But, the key really is like, for me, it's like, when you're in control and the potential for growth is there and you're seeing freaking results, it's hard not to go 110%. You're like, dang, like, it's really hard not to. I think people get stuck or frustrated because they're putting in work and they're not seeing results. Yeah. You're putting in work, you're putting in all this energy, putting all this time, and you're not seeing the results. It's frustrating. So if you're in that category, man, the best thing you could do is find a way to get results.
Yeah.
Once the results are there, it gets addicting and it's exciting. You gotta freaking turn your computer off, so that's me. That's my brain. I just get, I get very focused on my goals and I need to like shut off. Like right now, I've just been like going crazy for the last 2 months, just doing all these lines. I'm burnt out, man. I gotta freaking, I tell my brand manager, Spencer, she's my cousin. I'm like, Spencer, do not let me do another freaking fitness launch or program or anything. Let me stop. And I do it anyway. So it's opposite. I gotta shut off.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, it's just like you get the feeling of winning and you see the proof of concept and then you're like, this is just so cool. I just created this thing out of nothing. And now that's all I want to do. It's like, it's a high. So Greg, like I'm curious if you see, you have a prep for what you kind of the programs that you've offered in the past, this new program that you have is a higher ticket offer and you're starting to work your way up the ladder in terms of offers and what you're selling things for. What do you see next? Do you ever see having some super high ticket, really elite programs with salespeople on the phones, or what's kind of the goals for your business in the next few years of how you want to scale and put these offers together?
Yeah, I've thought about this and, quite a few people have told me, like, yeah, go really high ticket, get the phone, the salespeople. Ultimately, I'm just really listening to what my customers and audience want. And typically they're not really asking for, hey man, I want like a very exclusive, 5K program or 2K program. Typically what they want and respond to is like, give me a 3-month training plan. I'll pay $100 for it and get me the result, the transformation I want. Like that's our hottest offer. And we have a big audience and that's what they respond well to. I do like doing higher end coaching. I wouldn't say it's high price. It's $600,
yeah,
$597 for 12 weeks. And I like that. But I make way more money from the $97 sales, but I like the $597 because again, it's like, all right, let's get a group of 500 guys and now I can spend a bit more time with them, get on the calls and have my coaches in there and just work with these people to, produce more transformations because the people in the higher ticket coaching, typically they're going to get better results because they're way more committed and they get that extra help. And secondly, it makes sure that I'm like sharpening my sword, so to speak. So it keeps me very close to the consumer or the customer, close to the client. So I like having those coaching groups just because it's like, okay, it just keeps me dialed in versus having, 100,000 or 300,000 people going and doing a program where I don't communicate with them.
Yeah.
So I like it for that reason. But, I've had people tell me, don't do phone, go and do these phone sales and everything. And it's a big operation, it's a big operation. And it's like, if it's to make, an extra 2 million a year, I'm just like, I think I just rather put that time and energy into, building the 97 program. And what people do want from me is an app. So I think if the next thing I might focus on is like, okay, people have been telling me for years, make this freaking app. I might go invest and work on really taking these programs and putting it into an app where you pay, $150 a year, you get all the programs and you can track the work. Everything is just simplified. And that's kind of what I think I might do next. But yeah, like that's probably the next big step if there is one.
When you launch the app, you got to have like a daily Greg quote. So like you go on there and there's just like a video of 30 seconds and you're just like, hey, go do this today. Get fired up.
No, man. Yeah. Well, you know what? Actually, I would like to. I've been a very front facing fitness figure for years now. It would be nice to, to let a few other, to bring on some people onto the stage, some of my top tier coaches and followers and let them kind of be the front facing figures and I can kind of chill back a little bit.
That's when you can kind of scale like crazy.
Yeah. It is a lot to be on video all the time, to be active on social media all the time, to be producing so much content and your face blasted everywhere.
Of course.
It takes a certain personality type to really do that. And I have that personality type for sure. But after like years and years and years, like, I don't know if I really be doing this when I'm 40, when I'm even 35. I'd rather just kind of chill in the background. So, so the daily Greg quote may be tricky.
You got to do it, bro. Do somebody else. Get another good coach named Greg, and you can just be like, hey, it's still Greg.
It's still Greg, yeah.
But
I'll write the quote. You know?
There you go. That's it. You said something that's really key here, man, because it's like, you know, with kind of our background in selling agency stuff, we've mainly, everything we've sold has been, you know, higher ticket and lower volume with the clients we brought on. And it's just like, when I am looking at your stuff, I'm like, Greg, you could sell this for $19.97, or you could sell it for $2,000. And you said something that's really key. That's just like, I'm just listening to my customers. And that's why you've had, you know, a crazy amount of success. So I think that, you know, I don't want anybody who's watching to kind of see that slide under the rug. That was a really, really good point that you made. It's just like listening to your customers and you'll have crazy freaking success.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is a good thing. Like, before you listen to some business advisor or consultant or marketing program, listen to your customer. They're the ones that are they're the ones that are buying from you. They're the ones that are giving you their money. So always the first person to listen to is someone that's actually spending money with you. If you listen to some business consultant over a customer, as far as what the customer wants,
doesn't make sense.
Why would you do that? You know, but I mean, you got to look at both. Test everything. You know, if you have an idea, you know, test everything. So I mean, I actually did that higher price program. You know, we went from doing, you know, our typical programs to, like, let's do a $600 group coaching program where you get the workout program. We're going to have a Facebook group with coaches in to help you. We're going to be supporting each other. We're going to be doing the weekly coaching calls, the group calls. And, like, honestly, the value that these clients have gotten from this group per dollar far exceeds the actual program. Because these guys are just getting so much out of it. Even though I'm not giving my one-on-one time very much, like, it's a group-based program, and I have coaches that are kind of giving a bit more, you know, help in the group. These guys are just loving it, the community and camaraderie. So it's like, you know, I would love for more people to be like, fuck, I'm going to spend $600 and just do it. Yeah. Because it would be the better move, I think, for them. But yeah, people just don't want to spend $100 and get ripped.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense, because it's like, you know, in the I guess the kind of make money online world, I mean, you know, people are selling $10,000, $20,000 programs, but like, maybe the mentality of that is like, hey, you spend 10, you're going to make 100, but it's like, the, you know, best investment you can make is in yourself and in your body. So Greg, I want to know, man, would you ever see yourself maybe making some programs around like marketing and sales and making money online, or no?
Yeah, you know, I've people have asked me about this, and I've thought about it, and you know, probably not yet. No, probably not yet. Probably, you know, I got my hands full, my bandwidth is full, and I'm gonna finish what I started here with Keto Body, and what that looks like is, you know, it's gonna take some more, you know, a few more years to really fucking just build this up, and then, you know, be able to take my hands off this and just boom. And then, you know, then maybe, but for now, no plans for now. And yeah, no, like, there's only so many, you know, I've learned that I get better results. I kind of get focused on less and just crush thing. So yeah, I think that, like, sometimes people that go into that kind of marketing space or teaching business that was doing something else beforehand, they kind of tapped out their market, or they kind of like they hit their peak in their industry and then kind of slowed down. So now they're kind of grabbing onto that next tree branch to make more money, to teach business. So for me, it's like, the growth is right here in this fitness thing. And that's where, you know, so I don't have plans for a business program for a while.
Yeah. And one thing, and I don't remember whose interview you said this with, and I think this is important, that you've been so consistent with your messaging. So you never were like, one year, like, hey, we're doing a keto program, or like, hey, now we're doing this like program. Like, even though fitness, I mean, you can probably attest to this so much. Like, people are just confused as shit on what to do because every year there's a new fitness trend routine. But I mean, through and through, you have said, hey, this is what I do. It's intermittent fasting. This is what I teach. So like, what do you think has been the importance of that with just your brand and with just scaling everything, being consistent and having one thing that you've always kind of clung to? What's kind of some of the things that you feel like have been massive benefits about doing that?
So what's been like, well, essentially I like the reason everything's been so streamlined for so many years is because I found a really freaking unbelievable approach.
Yeah.
Something that really works. My programs and what I'm sharing in my content, my videos, my messages, it's what I actually do. Yeah. This is what I do to get in shape and to achieve the results that I get. I share exactly what I'm doing. Or, if it's a aggressive fat loss program, what I did, months ago to lean down quickly. So I share what I do, and what I'm doing, like throughout the years and months, what I'm doing is I'm doing the exact mechanisms that I believe are going to be the most effective. And so I haven't felt the need to flip-flop around and go and do this and this. And my goal, what I teach with my clients is like, look, here's the goal. We're not trying to get to 200 pounds or squat 500 pounds. We're here to build that perfect amount of muscle size, get stronger, train 3 days per week, have that great recovery so we can crush our personal records, get our diet dialed in, so we can stay lean, have that chisel look. This is what the goal is. And I haven't wavered on the goal. I haven't been like, oh no, now it's about being 200 pounds and puffy. I was wavering when I was younger, when I was, 14, 17, 18. But once I really kind of hit 21, 22, I was like, boom, I was like, I know what the goal is. In fitness, I don't care about being 200 pounds. I'm not here to train to be a football player. I'm here to be fucking strong and lean and look like a movie star.
Yeah.
That's what I want my training to be focused on while doing it in an enjoyable way. And so I haven't really felt like chasing other goals. I've come up with some new strategies in my programs and brought in rest pause training and some cool stuff in the strength wrap phase. And I brought in, and I've really taken the nutrition concepts and made it simpler to follow, more effective, just subtle changes. But for me, it's just really about subtle little tweaks. Yeah. Nothing major. If I really felt that going keto or this and that was going to be the best approach, I'd go and do it and I'd go and share that. But fuck, it's not. Fuck no.
So yeah, dude, final question. I want to know, there's people watching this right now, young entrepreneurs that are either trying to get started or they're just kind of starting to scale. What would be the advice that you'd give to them if they want to, hit 7-8 figures and hit massive highs? Like, what would be maybe 2 or 3 key pieces of wisdom that you'd say, here's what you need to do?
With young entrepreneurs that want to go and hit some of these goals, well, I would say, make sure this is what you really want to do.
It's key. Yeah.
Because right now, or, the last few years, definitely people glorify the idea of being an entrepreneur, being an internet entrepreneur, having your online business. It's kind of being glorified. So I think some people want that don't actually want to go and do all the work and want to take on everything that's required. So make sure you really want this, because again, life is, everyone's got their different interests. What I do, what you do isn't necessarily what everyone wants to do. Yeah. So make sure you really want to do it. 100%. And then also, you're not going into this in order to get. You're going into this in order to give.
Yeah, wow.
So if you're focused on going into this online industry or business in order to get something, you've already lost. Just give up. You're going to waste your time. You're going to waste your money. You're not getting anything. But if you go into this as an online entrepreneur to give, you're going to get a fucking shit ton. And so that's what it has to come down to. And you can't mentally trick yourself and be like, I'm here to give. I'm here to give because if I focus on giving, I'm going to get. No, it doesn't fucking work. Deep down, you want to give. And you'd want to share this stuff or help and do this. Even if you had $10 million in the bank, you'd still want to go and do this. Yeah. Then you probably, you probably should go ahead and do this. But if already you're like, oh, I don't know if this is worth it, fucking honestly, go get a job.
Yeah.
Go work a job. That's important. Not everyone can be an entrepreneur. It doesn't make sense. That would not ever work. It's only about 5% of the population or something. And it's like being an entrepreneur is, I like it, but it's like anything. There's ups and downs. There's pros and cons. So don't build this fantasy or glorification about running a business is the coolest thing in the world. It has really cool advantages. There's awesome, aspects to it. You can essentially write your own paycheck. If I want to go and make $500,000 profit in a month, I can figure out a way to do it.
Of course.
The job, it's going to be very tricky. But it can be a lot of risk. It can become like something that takes over your life. But again, go into it to give, not to get. And that's because you have to think about it like this. This is how you have to think about it. The customers or the prospects, the people in the world, the people you walk past, these are the people that are choosing whose business is going to succeed and whose is going to fail.
Yeah.
And they're going to pick the person that is there to give, that wants to see them succeed, that's put in their 10,000 hours to master a skill to teach them to teach that person. People are smart. They have like fucking good bullshit detectors. So if they feel like you're just in this to fucking get, they're not listening. They're not connected. Some people can go and do that for a little bit, but they're not sticking. So ultimately, the prospects, the customers pick who's going to make millions of dollars, whose business is going to skyrocket, and whose business is going to fail. And there's a good saying, I actually more than even reading books, I just freaking listen. I hang out with great, smart people, and I just listen. And like, there's a good book. I didn't read it, but I listened to some conversations about it. And it's like the
good way to open it up.
Yeah, the profit is made when you're the best or only option.
Yeah.
And so sometimes, you get into this business model and you want to go and compete with a bunch of people, but you're doing the same thing as everyone else.
Yeah.
What happens if you're doing the same thing as everyone else? You can make money, you can generate revenue, but man, you're competing on so many levels that your profit gain goes down. Yeah. And so you're in some ways you're better off just getting a job than 100%. Building a business that does, $500,000 a year so you can make 70. And then deal with all the stress and risk of that. So it's like you need to basically be the best or only option. In my business, if you want to in 12 weeks go from looking okay, I'm okay shape to fucking turning heads, looking like a movie star, there's not another option.
Yeah. 100%.
And if you want to do that in an enjoyable way, X, Y, and Z, get stronger, do it naturally, be able to eat, it's the only option. And so that's where the power is.
100%. And it's like, I'm sure you saw this, and this is I don't remember who I was watching make a talk on this, but it was really, and I know you'll relate to this a lot. Like there's probably, since you've killed it, been a ton of copycats, Greg Gallagher copycats, like tons of them. Like when at the end of the day, your mission is to be Greg and to help other people and to, serve. And their mission is to copy you. So it's like, it's just who's already won that. Even if they have so many more, even if somebody starts out with $5 billion and like they're just trying to copy, you and what you're creating. And it's the same with like any other business. And that's why it's like what you're saying of how we glamorize starting an online business, and somebody looks at, hey, this guy has this successful business, and then they just go start it just because somebody else did. And then you wonder why, they don't achieve the same outcome. So
yeah, and on that point, just to add the little thing, is that I think some people they kind of diverge. They break authority. They break authority from themselves. And what I did when it came into the fitness and starting a business was I wasn't looking like, hey, what's this other guy doing? So what I do is I didn't go and look and see what is this other fitness guy doing. Let me go and take his model and go and do that. Or what is this guy doing? What I actually do is I just stop and think for a second and just, what do I want? What is ultimately, what is the fitness approach, or what is the business, what is the problem that I want to get solved? In you know, in the perfect world, what do I want? It's like, well, shit, like I want to be strong, be lean, have that physique that you see when, you know, Brad Pitt is in Troy. It's like, shit, he looks different than the guys I see in the gym. And I want to achieve that without starving or killing myself or living my life in the gym. I want to build that body through the right training, the right nutrition, but have a program that fits my lifestyle.
100%.
And, you know, I kind of created my dream, and then I figured out how to do it, and then I shared it. So I think that people too often are looking what everyone else is doing. What I was doing is like, dude, what the fuck do you want? You know, what do you want? You know, create, and that's what Kino Body was for me. It was creating what I wanted that wasn't already there.
100%. Yeah, that's fucking awesome, dude. Well, Greg, man, I really appreciate you taking the time. Everybody, you guys probably already follow Greg, but if you do not, all the stuff's going to be in the description. You know, everybody's at home on quarantine right now. If you want to get ripped, Greg's got an awesome program. That's actually how him and I got connected. I figured if I just went ahead and just joined the program, I can get some good outcome and I can get in contact with Greg. So this
Dude, I had to respect that.
Yeah.
This guy joined the program.
Come on, man.
I'm doing the call. Yeah.
Have to. But Greg, thank you so much for coming on, bro. I really appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for listening, watching, whatever you're doing. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.
I ain't going back. Split 5 and make doubles. I ain't going back. When there was no rush, just rustle. I ain't going back.